Hello, gamers. Week 3 is over, and what a week it has been. Of course, I'm Fievel, and I'm here bringing you the game reviews, the most creative set, trades, KO leaderboards, standings, but I'm not alone. I'm with my co-hosts.
Maracujavgc, hello, hello. It has been a nice week. We have seen some really, really cool games, and I can't wait to cover them. And also, we're joined by
TeaBiscuit, and we all had a learning experience this week. Alcohol, in fact, does not make you better at Pokemon.
Oh, it does not?
Thank you
No,
for
because I played
testing.
my game while drunk still, remember?
That was
I had a
a
stein of
psychological
cider and then
trick.
tried to play.
I mean, honestly, telling your opponent previously that you're drunk is such a psychological thing because they're like thinking, is he gonna do good decisions or bad decisions now? What does that mean?
That was just a
Yeah,
big brain
no.
play. But it was, I think, one of my favorite sets this week. You versus Nikita. It was really, really nice to watch.
Oh, it was a very good game to watch back afterwards, but in the moment it didn't feel great.
Yeah, I can imagine.
All right, guys, we're jumping right into the first game, and it was the Graceland Greninjas versus the Roaring Moon Ravagers. And let me tell you, that was a very, very long two-game match. It was like very long for 2 games because, yeah, let's see what happened. Well, we have here obviously the Mega Staraptor and the Mega Houndoom. So we have the Grimmsnarl as well. Obviously, very good support for the Staraptor, so we can imagine some parting shot things happening there. Tyrantum, Typhlosion, and Alolan Ninetales. And on the other side of the Roaring Moon Ravagers, we have the Mega Gengar, Sableye, the Arcanine, Greninja, Heracross, and Rotom Heat. And the game started off with Elite, Tyrantum, and Alolan Ninetales versus Gengar and Greninja. And Greninja really just started spamming Icy Winds and actually does a lot of chip into the Tyrantum. Because I always tend to forget that Rock does actually not resist Ice and the Dragon typing there. So yeah, no, the Icy Wind actually does a lot of damage and really just drops that speed, and it kind of dictates the whole game. Like immediately the Graceland Greninjas are on the back foot, and they do position their Staraptor, and it gets burned by the Arcanine. And I'm like, yeah, this game is basically over, but it's actually really impressive what that Staraptor still pulls off. Like, it sticks around so long. It doesn't do any damage anymore, and that's unfortunate, but that thing is really hard to get off the board with Roost and with the boosts. Roostin' and boostin'. With that thing lived forever. But eventually it went down to the double ups. They went too overwhelming of Mega Gengar and I think Heracross. But yeah, so that was really impressive showing of Staraptor, but it wasn't enough. The Roaring Moon Ravagers take game 1. In game 2, I will just say one thing. Imagine the gif of the dog in the sunlight, basking. That's the Arcanine of the Roaring Moon Ravagers. I have never seen a more chill
Yeah.
Pokemon. Just standing there the entire game, unbothered, moisturized, flourishing, clicking Snarl, not threatened by anything. That thing just did so much work. There have been pivots and things happening in the other slots. We saw Hisu in Typhlosion as an adjustment. But that thing also really hates Snarl, and the Roaring Moon Ravagers really just managed to sail into a game 2 match winner against the Greninjas 2-0.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I
Staraptor
mean,
is just crazy. What
yeah.
Staraptor can do if it's supported right, it's insane. And yeah, but also that
Yeah.
Arcanine, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, the Arcanine just sitting there the whole game, just clicking Snarl over and over again, just making it harder and harder for the special attackers on the side of the Graceland Greninjas, just, doing what it needed to. I also want to point out your comment on it, Fievel, was I didn't realize Tyrantrum was so fast, and then immediately realizing, oh wait, it's Choice Scarf.
Yes, yes. That thing moving, and I was like, what? Why is it your turn to move?
Yeah, when I was putting in the data for it into the spreadsheet, I was like, it moved, and I went, oh, it must be choice scarfed. Immediately thought that, but it was like, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it was a really long a 2 game match.
It was.
Let's look into the next game. What do we have here? The Sleepy
We
Q
have,
Bones versus Nothing
yes, my
Creative.
game versus Nothing Creative, and it was truly nothing creative, and that's why I love playing against Seb. It's just solid, sound Pokemon. It's just very good fundamentals, very good basics, and it's just uh, showing a great showing of skill. And I have to admit, I just got Zoroark. Game one with the Sceptile, I had my plans, but in the team builder, I thought, nah, he's not going to bring Zoroark versus me. He's nothing creative. That's just too creative. It wasn't. It was really cool for him to bring it. It makes sense, of course, just given the team. I had the unfortunate luck to run into another mega that just hard counters everything that I could bring with Mawile or Sceptile, and Thorak got me on lead. I was bulky enough to survive all the hits because I'm just built different with my EVs, but I just lost too many resources too quickly, and the game was over. And I knew he was going to adjust to the mobile mode, and again I lost my resources super fast from some bad calls, and then I had like a 7 HP Armarouge and an 8 HP Guard Jump versus a full health Zoroark versus a 30%, 35% Incineroar and a full health Mega Mawile in the back. And if you haven't seen this end game, please go watch it. I think it is a masterclass in going for hard reads when you have to, and just going for playing for your outs. And I think that was one of the most beautiful end games I have played. And to be fair, I didn't deserve the victory there. So he got game 3. He beat me fair and square. I wanted to bring Scovillain. I had it locked in, and just like 5 seconds before the start, I pivoted to Armarouge, and that was the final nail in the coffin for game 3 because I needed the redirection to make sure that my guard jump could be safe. And I just didn't bring the right mons. I got 4-0'd pretty decisively. And yeah, it was GG's to Seb. He played super well. It was super fun. I love playing against him. And I think my special guard jump was perfect for this set. It was I wanted to counter 2 intimidates possibly, and the life orb or earth power just had an OCO on Incin and on Mega Mobile and on anything that he could bring. And I was spooky enough to live everything. So it was really the call. It was just my play that couldn't give it the crown, unfortunately.
Yeah, I must say that game too. I was there in the spectator seat watching it go down live. It was so cinema. That thing was crazy to see live. If you haven't seen the game too, go watch it. It's crazy work.
Yeah, I mean that the game 2 end game was just absolute cinema. I will say this about Hisui and Zoroark: it does make it kind of a pain when entering the data into the spreadsheet, because you put in one thing and it's like then once like, oh, leading Rotom. No, it's not Rotom. It's Zoroark. Okay, just messing me up here.
Yeah. To be fair, I got in the third game as well because he Zoroarked me with Incineroar, and I didn't notice that I didn't get the drop, and I faked it out. And that's just stupid. That's a crazy misplay. That should not happen. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked that you tried to fake it out there, because I was like, it didn't intimidate.
No, and if I went for the double up in that slot, knowing that it would switch out, I would have had Mobile on the switch, and the game would have been over. So yeah, that was just not very well fundamentals for me, and I wasn't paying attention. So yeah, I got the best of me again.
Oh, Zoroark doing Zoroark things.
Yeah.
Guys,
That's what it does.
Want to jump into game 3?
Of course.
That is the Hoenn Cuties versus the Motor City Mugs. That's my game. And let me tell you, I brought Drampa. I kind of made it too focused on Drampa maybe, because I just really thought it was also kind of funny. But genuinely, I thought looking at his roster that it's in a good position. There are a lot of things that it resists, and I thought that it's a good thing to bring. If I make it specially bulky, and if he brings Trick Room for me, then it's a really good Pokemon there too. So I thought it's in a good position, if only it wasn't for Sylveon or potentially Kangaskhan. So I kind of prepped supports in that direction. But yeah, it was tricky. Honestly, game one, it worked really well. It worked just as I imagined. And then I knew that game two, actually, the Motor City Mux have a lot of options to kind of counteract. And most of them is like Kangaskhan coming with strong physical damage, and the Sylveon with obviously with the just overwhelming fairy damage. So I kind of called out the lead, but it was that moment where I thought I had the game too, and then it said communicating, and I was like, what? And then the Mega Venusaur appears, and I was like, no, they have another Pokemon. They have a whole other Pokemon. And my Aerodactyl at that time, Mega Aerodactyl, was -2 from the fake tears. No, but Baby Doll Eyes is that move. Got Baby Doll Eyes. I knew I had a line, kind of, where I just Rock Slide flinch the Venusaur and then dual Wing Beat and make some work. But it went down with the Sludge Bomb immediately poisoning me, and those ticks really hurt. And I think it got really close. Game 2 was really, really interesting. And then when we went to game 3, I had to also kind of like call out the leads. And it was Farigiraf Kangaskhan on his side, and it did so much work just clicking Helping Hand Rock Slide. And then I tried to position the burn somewhere there, but just as I had a window, I got flinched on my Gardevoir. And it was really intense, but it was so dragging on my mental. So game 3, I was already so exhausted. And I think you could tell that I was just clicking buttons towards the end. I was so overwhelmed by the rock slides. Because Trick Room also went up and Kangaskhan went first, and I could absolutely reverse rock slide on my Aerodactyl. So I was on the receiving end of that. And no, it was just really well played by them on game 3, like just completely ahead of me. And it was a really exciting game. The whole match, I mean, I had a great time. I mean, Hans Rüdi, the Drampa, I was probably a bit too focused on it. Maybe it didn't even need to come game 3. But honestly, I'm happy with how it went. 2-1 for the Motor City Mux, fair and square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's comedic gold again. Just you thinking you've won just for Venusaur hitting the field, and you still had the ways to win, but it didn't go your way. And I think it was a very, very overall very balanced play. Two, I think, equally strong players facing off each other. It was a pleasure to watch, and especially, yeah, we could see your mental being a bit low in game 3. I think you played it well. Yeah, I mean, Sylveon is just Sylveon. Sylveon was crazy.
Yeah.
And also, Kangaskhan for Kevin puts in a lot of work. That's also super exciting.
It's really
That Kang's
good
been doing work for him.
because I couldn't intimidate it, and I knew that I couldn't intimidate it, and it can just fake out anything it wants. It has so much coverage. Apparently, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Gen 1 normal type. It learns every move under the sun, so you never know what it's going to be able to hit you with.
Exactly.
Okay, guys, let's look into game number 4. We have the Gambit Kings versus the St. Gallen Ursalunas.
Okay, so speaking of mental, my mental watching this game, oh my god. This is possibly my favorite game of the week because it is such a roller coaster of emotions. Game 1, we see the St. Gallen Ursalunas. Sneasler just gets a clean 4-0 sweep of everything. It's just like Sneasler just sits on the field the whole game and just gets one shot after one shot after one shot. And it's like, okay, Frucht is just winning this. Like, it's just going to be a clean 2-0. And then in game 2, the Aerodactyl comes in and just starts wrecking shop, along with the Mega Kangaskhan. And, the only knockout that happens on the side of the St. Gallen Ursalunas is Embor, who then knocks itself out in the process. And so it's like, okay, we've got a game here. And then game 3, we see Mega Blastoise click Water Spout into Wide Guard like 5 times in a row. And I was watching it thinking, okay, surely this time he's going to go like Aura Sphere or something to, take out this Aerodactyl to stop the Wide Guard. And then he clicks Water Spout again. And I'm like, what's happening? What's happening here? Is the video looping? Have I gone insane?
Keep him honest.
It's like, oh my god, the same turn is happening again and again and again.
And it just got even better with the mind games. Like, is he doing it
Yeah.
again? He surely can't be doing it again.
Surely he's not doing it again. And then he did it again, and it just got funnier every time. And yeah, eventually the Mega Blastoise, despite its effort, goes down with nothing. And, it's Embor all alone, gets 3 KOs, including the very last turn, surviving a dual wing beat from Aerodactyl on 1% HP to get the knockout.
Yeah,
And
that was crazy.
Yeah, an insane final game that like I couldn't stop laughing while watching it.
It was cinema.
Yeah, it was cinema. I think what also contributes to it is that I was playing a Limitless Tour while recording it, and I started to commentate on it in the start. I had to go play my last round, which I unfortunately lost, and I was so super lost in the like the last turns of the games, just trying to get into it, and it was just, well, Water Spout, White Guard, Water Spout, White Guard. The Gardevoir was super annoying with the heal pulls, and it always just got enough back that Blastoise survived a turn again.
Every turn it was Gardevoir uses heal pulse. No, it was Aerodactyl Wide Guard, Gardevoir heal pulse, Blastoise Water Spout gets blocked, Starmie Thunderbolt drops Blastoise to low HP, and that just happened again and again until Trick Room expired.
Yeah. That was super cool to watch. And also like the survival on 1 HP was just so cool. I was what really tipped the scale into me also thinking it is one of the best sets of the week. Like, it was just super, super fun to watch.
Yeah, like that workhorse Embor in the final game.
Yeah.
Just after all the shenanigans, coming in and just gutting through all of it. And yeah.
It is definitely absolutely wild. Like it's so good that the 1% in the end, even, it's just the cherry on top.
It had everything.
Let's jump into game number 5. We have the Tiramisu VGC Cafe and the Galatian Magus.
Yes, and when I said the earlier game had everything, this game had nothing. It was just, not to throw any shade, but it was just a Groundhog Day. It was Floette. It was Calm Mind. It was supported by Tailwind, Double Fake Out, and Basculegion, I believe. It was just actually Groundhog Day. And I think the Tiramisu Cafe had some interesting sets. I think the curse setup was very interesting, and if they would have committed to the curse instruct in turn 2 of game 1, I think there was a way where they could have run away with the game, because there was just so many Trick Room turns to be gone with a +3 overquill. And Query Danceable Corona was nice into Floette, boosting it. It was a bit bad to have to press it in Trick Room and boosting your speed. And I think Tiramisu did a lot of things right in the builder, addressing the threats from the Galician Megas, but just the mid game on both games was just played a bit poorly. It was just, I think it, not 50-50s per se, but it was just twice or three times where it was where they were attacking the protect slot, and maybe a bit of a hard read or a soft read could have helped. And yeah, even game 2, the Magus faked out inner focus Oranguru, but Floette steamrolled again, and there was I think there was a moment where I thought, oh, maybe this is a game. But again, the mid game attacking to protect, and it was over because Floette is just too strong. And it was a strong showing again from the Magus, but it's just Groundhog Day. It's the same thing every time because it's just so good.
First of all, tell us what you really think, Mara. I mean, that was a great way to introduce the match. But yeah, I think you're right. I think just Mega Floette really showing what it does best and how good it is at doing that. And I agree that like some of the ideas, like the Curse Overquill, the Quiver Dance Volcarona, could be very interesting checks into that Mega Floette, but just sadly couldn't really get going.
It was
Yeah.
they are very interesting ideas with like going instruct curse for like, the mega setup in Trick Room, for example. It just is a little not supported enough, or I think, or maybe it didn't work because of what's in front of them. But also, if we look at the turn that they went Aqua Jet instruct, where it almost picked up the Talonflame, that could have potentially
Yeah.
been so huge if it went actually KOing the Talonflame and then Aqua Jet immediately after into the Crook. So there's so much potential, but it's just not quite there.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see what's gonna come in the future. And
Yeah.
let's see what we have in game number 6.
Nikita
Isle Arcanine.
versus TeaBiscuit.
Yeah, so this is me and Nikita. Like I said at the start of the recap, I was a little drunk while playing this. It was quite late for me. I had just been out for dinner with my dad, and while I was out, I may or may not have drunk an entire stein of cider. So was still a little drunk, and I think you could see, not really in my play, but more in my reactions, because I think this was the worst mental that I have displayed yet. Just, I think I did crash out a little at the end. But the game itself was so much closer than I think it really deserved to be. I don't really think that I deserved to make it so close both times. But yeah, so it was a 2-0 affair, and the first game 1, we just saw the Hydreigon and the Azumarill just run me over. Somehow I managed to get down to, to a 1-on-1, and I lost that against the Aegislash, but, what can you do? Oh, not the Aegislash, against the Hydreigon. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong bar on the spreadsheet. And then game 2, I thought I'm going to try and do the same thing, and then immediately saw that Nikita led with the rain mode, and I knew, I think, off of lead, I was like, I've lost this. Because there was no way that I could, with what I'd brought, I could not stop that Mega Swampert from, running me over.
Yeah, I think game 2 you had to go for some hard reads just to get yourself back into the game. I think it was both games were super close, and I mean, also kudos to you, because I think you were one of our last place players in season 1, and you just really got 2 good games out of Nikita, and I think it could have been in your favor on any other day. And it was
Yeah.
it was super nice. With the rain in game 2, it was a bit sad to see. It was a nice mix up, and
Yeah.
yeah,
I
it was close.
think-
It was close. It was super close. I think you had some turns where you could have piloted the Rotom maybe a little bit better, and because it was a very strong key into the rain mode, and
Yeah.
but he just called you out when you were going for Leaf Storm, and he just
Yeah.
knew what to do and how to react to your threats.
Yeah, I mean, if I'd like taken a bit more time to think about it before game two, I probably would have been like, he's probably going to go for the rain mode now. Like, he's probably going to switch it up, in which case I should have brought, Vaporeon and probably Lopunny as well. But,
Hmm.
you know, I
You
probably
never
should have
know.
left the Sandua behind. But, what can you do? What's in the past is in the past.
Right.
But
And
yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
it's
he played super
nothing to
well.
be, yeah, it's nothing to feel bad. It was sometimes just the result feels a lot worse, or looks a lot worse than it feels. And I think it were two brilliant games to watch.
Yeah, I think also there was a lot of bad luck on both of our sides where it's like I think we both had times where like moves missed or we got low damage rolls or things just didn't go the way we needed them to. And so it was a little chaotic for both of us, I think, where we were both like, all right, this should work, and then it didn't. We're like, ah, fuck.
Yeah, fine margins, very fine
He
margins.
can't keep getting away with it, guys.
But he will.
Yeah,
He
But
will.
he
it's
will.
looking likely.
Yeah.
Let's see
I
what's
was
in.
honestly, I'll be honest, game one, I was kind of I was terrified of the Azumarill a little more than I maybe needed to be, even though it was, super strong, because there was a part of me that was like, I know I can just beat it with Rotom, but what if he brought Sap Sipper? What if he's
Yeah.
fucking with me and brought Sap Sipper Azumarill? And I was like,
True.
no, I was like, if I'm just gonna go Volt Switch because that should KO it anyway. But it's like, if it's really bulky, it might not. But what if it's Sap Sipper?
What if it's upset? But it could have been. Wait, it could have been. You never know. And he
From the
would be the
damage, I'm pretty
trainer to
sure it
pull
was
it
huge
out.
power.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, guys, we have one more set. Game 7. The Fatalicha Tea Rooms versus the Capoeira Kickers.
Yes. Our new guys facing each other. And I think David and his kickers on paper thought like, damn, Rain Dance, Scarf, Jolteon is super cool into this matchup because you can just enable Primarina very well. And that's what they went for in game one. But that Charizard was crazy fast. It wanted to outspeed the Arcanine, if I saw the chats correctly, which is nice because it had Earth Power or Scorching Sands. I don't know which move it was because it was German, but it had the ground move, I think, especially for Arcanine. Rain Dance went off turn one, but it was Protect into Tailwind, and then it was just Helping Hand Heat Wave with Mega, and it cleared Jolteon. And yeah, it was over. I think the surprise set in game one was Life Orb knockoff Leafeon for me. That's just super cool because it's guarantees to be super fast in Sun, and knockoff threatens the Delphox in a very, very nice way. So that was super, super cool. It was a nice game plan on paper for the kickers, but it just didn't pay off due to these unforeseeable circumstances of Charizard just outspeeding and going super fast, and for a tailwind sweep in, I think, 4 turns. And it forced the adaptation to Sinistcha Delphox game 2, which is alright, but it was Taunt Whimsicott and it stopped Trick Room instantly. And there you have it. I mean, it's just super oppressive when you have a Prankstermon that can basically learn everything, and it always seems to have the right answer and always what's needed from them. So yeah, I think it was also a very crucial heat wave miss on Whimsicott, the second or third turn, which so that Delphos could get taunted and had to switch out. And Sepsi Pergutra was also a very good call. And I think there was an end game where I was just very confused because double protect could have easily stalled out Tailwind and the Sun and just confirmed the speed order and confirmed Scarf on the Blaze Breed Taurus, but they just decided to sack both Mons on the last turn of Tailwind. so presumably they didn't have protect, is what I got from that. And because of it, the Rage Powder play into Psyshock or Psychic was just what in that moment it was the right call, not knowing the speed and the natures, but knowing that you have knockoff on the other mon that can ignore the Rage Powder. I think Rage Powder and just Heatwave was always the line to go there. And I think that was like this, the two last turns is where David just threw game two completely out of the window, where he would have had it locked up otherwise.
Yeah, I'm looking at the lineups. I think the Capoeira kickers have really good, cool tools against the Fedarica tea rooms, and it was quite sad to see that the Jolteon play did not work out because would have been really really good.
Yeah, I think that like that I agree that like, losing both on the last turn of Trick Room was definitely a blunder, but I think it's one of those things where it's, in the heat of the moment, you can't really take a step back and go like, what is the most optimal play? If you have an idea in your head of like, I think this will work, it's hard to really like properly evaluate the situation sometimes. And yeah, I mean,
right.
that Leafeon in game two, just putting in work, being a bit of a monster,
Yeah.
when we don't usually see Pokemon like Leafeon doing that. And yeah.
And I'm a bit angry with Robin for not posting the Leafeon set into the most creative set of the week, because it was super creative and it was in fact the difference maker in all of the games. So for me, it would have been my clear vote for the most creative set.
Yeah, gotta post those sets.
Yeah.
And also, it's funny because Leafeon was one of the picks we were like
We
questioning
shat on it, yeah.
in the
Yeah.
review.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
I mean,
didn't know what he was cooking. My bad, King.
yeah, I mean, both of the last two mons that Robin had in that, the two mons that actually got KOs in that second game was Leafeon and Taurus Blaze. I think we were a
We
bit,
said Aqua
curious
would
about
be
both of
better,
them. We were
yeah.
like, oh, Leafeon, maybe there's better, maybe a better chlorophyll Pokemon, maybe like Venusaur or something, and Tauros, maybe switch to Tauros Aqua for better like type variety or something. But it's
Yeah,
like, no, they've both put in work. So,
we didn't have the vision.
fair dues.
Yeah.
But I also apparently have a B tier draft, and I keep hearing, "Oh, you counter everything. You have so many good tools." Oh.
But you countered me. You just countered me.
Well, Seb said the same thing.
You
Well,
said the same thing?
he said that I have. Okay, no, actually, he was like, I have probably the most tools of all the rosters for his belly bolt, which is just one thing, I guess. Okay,
I
well,
mean,
guys, we're talking about
yeah.
the most creative set, and that's what's next. And we have, drum roll, the Sangalm or Salunas with the Gardevoir set. Babiri Berry,
Yes.
Synchronize, Moonblast, Will-O-Wisp, Heal Pulse, and Trick Room. And let me tell you, this was so close to what I actually had in mind for my Gardevoir. It was basically this. I also had Willow. I had Psyshock instead of Moonblast because of the Venusaur, and I had Heal Pulse. I know I have Willow and Life too, and Protect, no Trick Room, but it was very close. So very supportive Gardevoirs this week.
Yeah.
Heal Pulse being even more effective here, obviously, because you want to actually get that full chunk for the water spout, so it makes total sense.
Yeah, I think synchronize, like having synchronize is the ability, because I mean, usually if you're not using Mega Gardevoir, you'd want telepathy so that you can, click like Earthquake or something. But I think synchronize here just to be annoying and be that supporting piece in case, you try to like paralyze or sleep the Gardevoir, synchronize activates and, you know, you get status yourself, but I think it was a very interesting set. Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
like Trace Gardevoir, actually. It has been great the last 2 weeks for me. Like, I copied the inner focus so I couldn't be faked out by the Kang. I copied I wanted to copy the lightning rod for against Raichu, There's a lot of things that are actually quite cool to have with Trace.
Yeah, yeah. Trace can be cool, but I think just like if you want like better consistency, the standard would be telepathy. But you know, both of the other abilities are super interesting. So yeah.
Very cool set. And next, I had to put a lot of Pokemon pictures on this. For the traits, we have the Motor City Mux and the Roaring Moon Ravagers. The Motor City Mux dropping their Mega Venusaur and their Gyarados, their Pikachu and Malamar also leaving us. Picking up... Oh, I have the wrong Raichu. It's the Raichu X. It's Raichu X, not Y. Picking up
Yeah.
Raichu X, Annihilate, Araquanid and Toucannon switching teams. And we have the Roaring Moon Ravagers dropping Rotom Heat and picking up my absolute goat, Dragonite. Spicy trades.
Yeah, very, very interesting trades. Dropping the Mega Venusaur is something I'm curious about, but we'll see if it pays off.
I know that they
See.
wanted to have a fast mode, so they went with Raichu. And they wanted Tailwind with Toucannon.
Yeah.
That's super fair. That's super fair. I think what can we call it? I think Kevin was a bit unhappy with his draft after the first 3 weeks, having found to enjoy balance a bit more than Trick Room these days. So I think those changes are trying to get a more balancey core out of the Trick Room oriented core that he drafted initially. And I think it makes sense. I think there are some good ones here, and I'm looking forward to see them in action.
Yeah, I'm also looking for that Trick Room mode, actually, the Araquanid, really bolstering that in Trick Room as an attacker and out of Trick Room as a support piece with stuff like Wide Guard. So
yeah, exactly.
could be very interesting to see. And the Roaring Moon Ravagers picking up Dragonite. I mean, I think we all know how good Dragonite can be when it's given the opportunity.
Dragonite is such a beast. It can learn so much. It doesn't have that many tools as it had last regulation when we were in Scarlet and Violet, but it just does so much. You can do so many things. It can switch in so many things with multi-scale. You can run inner focus. It's a beast, and I think it will serve them well.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, it's just one of those Pokemon that you can do just about anything with, and it works well. It's one that can take advantage of so many different items, so many different moves, both of its abilities.
Well, pretty spicy traits, and I can't wait to see what's in store. Now, guys, it's time to jump into our doc. Let's look at the leaderboard. We have, in first place, to no one's surprise, still the Surfing Asus with a 3
Oh no,
win
really?
run.
Yeah, really.
Yes,
Wow.
it's
The only player who has won all of their games is in first place.
yes, it's crazy. They are followed by the Galatian Megas, and on third place are the Fatalicia Tea Rooms, but tied in points are for third, sorry, the Sangalno Salunas and the Hoenn Cuties, as well as the Nothing Creatives. So still a very tight top cut.
Yeah. It's yeah, good to see. I mean, I'm not at all shocked to see that Nikita is number one. He's been playing great. I mean, I think we were saying in the draft, in like the draft breakdown, that's a top tier draft. And having now played against him, it is like very scary to prepare for because, even if you just go standard sets, it's still just very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Floette making work for the Galatian Megas. We don't see that many creative things, but we just see things that are true and tested and are scary.
Yeah, if they work, they work.
If it
You don't
works,
have to
it
fix it.
works. Well, guys, let's look at the Pokemon leaderboards. There are also some interesting things here. New top dog is Sneasler. And
Yeah, I mean, like we said, there's that 4-0 clean sweep in game 1 of their round this week, so it makes sense. Got a lot of KOs from that. But I think number 2 is more interesting. You want to explain this, Markusha?
Yeah, I can try. I've been telling you about the potential of Armor Rouge for weeks now, and I think in my hands at the moment it looks like it has potential. It can win. It can get me the kills. I mean, also I think I had to just find very creative solutions because my megas have been countered every week so far. So it was just Armor Rouge that my opponents thought they could leave alone, and it was the difference maker. I mean, I'm not winning. I'm still 1 and 2, so it doesn't help me in the standings. But at least I have a mon that can claim KOs and maybe force my opponent to respect it a little bit more, so my other pieces are freed up, hopefully.
Yeah, it's from the looks of it, it's sort of like my Toxtricity from last season, like always getting a lot of KOs, but I'm not winning. So
Yep.
I mean, 7 games played, 10 KOs is impressive, but look at the I don't know, the diff on the Mega Floette.
I know.
9-0. That thing has not died
Yeah.
a single time.
yeah,
Yep. But it's
And
only
of course
played
we
4
see-
sets, so 4 games.
yeah.
Yes.
And we do also see the Azumarill there from the Surfing Azus, the mascot, putting in the work that it should. Obviously, just
Mega
very
Gardevoir
good.
is still on 9th, even though I played it completely supportive this week, is also impressive.
And Charizard finally slowly started to climb.
Yes, Charizard
And
heard
it's
the
Yeah.
slander from
14.
last week, and I was like, let's climb. It's creeping up
Yeah,
here.
it heard us talking shit last week, and then went, all right, I'm gonna get a 4-0 sweep.
That's true.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
Let's look at the schedule real quick for week number 4. We have
We
the
have
Boring Moon Ravagers versus the Surfing Azus, and that is my game already.
That's gonna
This is
be
the banger.
nice.
This is a
And we
banger
have
right there.
a fight at the bottom of the table. We have the Sleepy Cubones versus the Capoeira Kickers, which is also a very hype match. I'm really looking forward to it. I think we are both better than what our standings show, and one of
Yeah.
us will likely miss top cut after this week. So who's it gonna be? And we have it followed by the Gambit Kings versus the Fatalitia Tea Rooms, the Motor City Mux versus Tiramisu Cafe. We have our guy, Fievel. We have the Hoenn Cuties versus Nothing Creative. And we have the Apple Eye Arcanine going up against the threat of Mega Floette in the Galician Megas. And St. Gallen Ursalunas versus, I always forget the
Graceland
name.
Greninja.
Graceland Greninjas, yes.
I don't
Super
think it's
fun.
fair that I have to go up against the number 1 player one week and then the number 2 player the next week. But here we are.
Well,
I mean, if you win,
gotta
you
beat
win.
them all.
Yeah, well, I can't now. I've lost to one of them.
Hey, but you have to face me next week. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
You have a tough schedule, man. You have a really tough schedule.
It's
Yeah.
interesting because I actually like to prepare kind of like a lot, like in my head, like and then play the end of the week. I'm playing Zep later today.
Ooh, are we gonna get a
Yeah.
live stream out of it?
Probably I can arrange that.
Ooh.
Nice.
I will
Are you-
probably miss it because I'll probably be asleep.
Unfortunately, but if you give me the code, I can set up a live stream in the Discord for people to watch, so you don't have to give away any information to your opponent.
All right, guys, that's the schedule. That's it for today's recap. That was a banger week. Looking forward to what's in store next.
Yeah.
So
See you next week.
see you next week.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.